Right, so one, my young, we like to start off by giving our honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Shah Bahashim, Kapadash. We also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops, great millstone as well as peace and blessings. We are Gms Mississippi camp, and we do have special guests. We have the Gulf Coast camp. They tap in with us frequently. We tap in with them. You know, we're basically the same camp, just in different parts of Mississippi. All right, starting with the head brother, your Itaga, okay? So, we're going to get right into it. All right, as you can see, they have planned protests, all right, formulating, all right, throughout the United States. I think I saw somebody waving a sign over the bridge on our way to camp. All right, so they might do a little something in Jackson, Mississippi, man. All right, but also, Iran just struck Israel back as a response to Israel doing a preemptive strike towards Iran. All right? So all these things are happening simultaneously, man. All right, which ties right into the prophecies, and we're just going to get it. Right?
2 Ezra 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
And how do you measure the time? You align the current events with prophecies. So that's a measure. When you're driving on the road and you're headed to a particular destination, you can measure the distance approximately, where you're going based off landmarks. When you see that Shell's gas station, you know you got about 25 more miles. When you see that church with that big phallic symbol on top of it, 3 more miles. So we got these landmarks according to the scriptures that allow us to measure the time. Right?
It's Revelation 11 and 1 in NLT. Then I was given a measuring stick. And I was told, go and measure the temple of the Most High and the altar, and count the number of worshipers. It's going into that measuring stick or the measuring reed. It's going into the Holy Scriptures. When we see what's going on or transpiring within current events, we filter out with the Holy Bible. Right? That's how we can see from the Spirit, the signs of our times. So back to 2 Ezra 9 and 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then should thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, where there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
And there should be seen earthquakes. That's the Captain Tasman used to have an earthquake tracker, and it would always go off, man. All right, but then it said uproars amongst the people in the world. And throughout the world, you've had protests for the last 10, 15 years, man. But now in America, you're having major protests, man. Major protests because of, I was trying to say immigrants, basically Issachar, Northern Kingdom being here, all right, and being pushed, all right, to go back across the borders, all right, going into concentration facilities, being dispersed from their families. And you know, Esau is big on what? Human trafficking, man. All right? So there's protests towards that. All right, being kicked out of their own country. Okay? But then it said uproars amongst the people. What else did it say?
It says, therefore, where there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. You know, so just going to what Elder Z was going into. Like you see these different protests, we call it immigration protests. So it started off, or so-called started off, really it was orchestrated, engineered in LA. So other cities and states within America, there's a term called solidarity, which is like a unified interest and purpose. So now that wildfire is spread across the different cities and states of America. And you see more other people partaking into this illegal protest, going to the immigration, So that shows you right there that all this stuff is going on right now. It's orchestrated by Esau Edom. Who runs Esau Edom? And how about Hashem shot? That's why we see earthquakes in diverse places, because that's the Heavenly Father is working through his rod of anger, which is Esau Edom. How he's doing it? Through his HARP system. His different weather modification programs. That's why we were seeing earthquakes in diverse places. But at the same time, it's still fulfilling end-time biblical prophecy. So we're seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people. More people are tuning into that spirit of civil unrest, rebellion. So a lot of people are tired of seeing this tyrannical government system. So a lot of people are protesting out there, and now it's turning to riots.
Yeah, because you got a mixture of Northern Kingdom being displaced amongst the border, But then you got Esau at home complaining that they have job loss, they're not getting paid enough. The cost of living is sky high, but they're still getting paid the same amount. All right, eggs is 3 times the amount that they used to be. Meat is expensive. All right, I remember when the average person could fill up their Walmart baskets like it was like, you know, the early 2000s, man. All right, even your Kroger's basket was full of it. But now, man, about 2 or 3 things, it's $50, man. All right, so imagine having a family of 3, man. All right, get paid. The family's income is like $50,000, man. The gross family income is $50,000. That's not enough, man. All right, but you made a valid point. They really, the Most High controls Esau either. So the Most High is using Esau. It's like basically a sword, a throwaway weapon, man. So I'm gonna get this real quick to back you up. Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Yeah, so the wicked referring to Esau, Edom, when you read Malachi, first chapter, it goes to our Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. So this is the people that the Most High have in the nation with forever. But he's utilizing them to a certain purpose to fulfill on this planet Earth. So Esau, Edom, and the people of them, they have to be here, according to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it and following. So Esau is fulfilling his anti-biblical prophecy by what he's doing around the whole world, which is destruction. So a lot of people are fed up, they're getting tired of it, they're protesting against him. They're going against the so-called 1%. And these are people who are Edomites, these low-level Edomites. So a lot of people get tired of this tyrannical system, man. It's only going to get worse from here. When we see this being transpired, being really displayed in these different apocalyptic type of movies, which is nothing but predictive programming, where the heads of Esau and Edom are doing up a prophesying on the left-hand side. And they're showing what they're going to do in the near future. With a police state, things of that sort, martial law. You're going to see martial law checkpoints, where you're going to have the MOTB in order to navigate to these different cities, man. Smart cities at that. So we seeing all this being conjured up right now. It's all fulfilling anti-biblical prophecy.
You got Eve getting laid off. You got Section 8 about to get cut. It's going to be a hot summer, man. It's going to be a hot summer, man.
And all of this, what Elder Z just mentioned, all this stuff is like, it's like order out of chaos.
Order out of chaos.
What the higher ups of Esau Edom does, they create the problem, they create the reaction, and they create the solution. What's that main solution? It's this NWO,
MOTB.
Yeah. Build the MOTB. That's right.
Order out of chaos. Problem was that problem, reaction, solution.
I was stretching.
All right.
Yes. I was
Esau deals
with the right hand of my right.
Esau deals with formulas, man. That's an algorithm. He knows what to trigger human emotion. He knows what to get up. Yeah. He knows what to excite the people. Job loss, income disparities, people losing their home. All right. So, because you have people who live in, like, say, trailer home facilities. Edomites live in trailer home facilities, but the Edomites make a set amount of money. Right? The trailer home is a set amount of money. Let's keep the video on this. But now, the price of the corporations took over these particular estates, these particular complexes, and they jacked up the price. So if you're living on fixed income, and they jacked up the price of where you stay, now you're forced to get evicted. All right? That's cruel. That's a cruel Lord over you, man. So everybody's upset, man. Jake is upset. You got Jake looking at it like, yeah, it ain't right what they doing with the immigrants, but it ain't right for them to take our jobs either. It ain't right for them to come to this country 4 years and surpass what you got going on. Come to this country 2 years, and now they got more than what you have, man. So Jake mad in Northern Kingdom, it's gonna be. Hey, it's interesting, man. It's interesting, man.
It's Most High's movie, man. You see within Esau's movie, like at the end, when it get very dramatic. You be at the edge of your seat. So how much more the movie of the Heavenly Father get out?
It reminds me of the movie Do the Right Thing with Spike. Like, they remember. It was like, I remember, like, there was in Brooklyn, I think. It was a hot summer. people just complaining about different stuff, you know. So hey, it's gonna be one of those summers, man. And I've been on Earth long enough to experience the ripple effect of one crisis, man. The ripple effect of the grid going out. The ripple, a cyber attack on the gas pipes, man. About the shop, Bobby.
You don't feel ashamed or unworthy.
But so hey, you couple all this right with this one attack.
Yeah.
You know what an attack could do? Or a cyber attack where your technology is out of, you know. And I had a freaking dream. And I rarely have dreams like this lately, man. But I had a dream. I think I got out my car and I was under a bridge and all the lights went on, man. And it hit me like that. You know? Like, hey, man, hey, they grid go out? Shit.
I think Whole Foods just had a so-called incident like that.
Yeah.
Like a cyber attack. And the shelves are empty in some Whole Foods stores around America.
And the average American is grid dependent.
Yeah.
But it's a harder fight.
Either way.
The average American is grid dependent, man. So a lot of people are gonna perish, not because they genuinely are gonna starve initially. It is that they were grid dependent. They really think food comes from a drive-through window. They really think food comes from the deli section. All right. So we've been so institutionalized in this American system that you don't understand the earth is a refrigerator, man. The earth is your pantry, but we've been deprived of that skill to utilize the earth. And now it's going to be to Jake's detriment. It's all just so ultimately you can kind of get that MOTP and depend on them, like you said.
The scripture goes like he laid his hand into, the Pharaoh, Egypt.
Oh yeah.
So that's what they want you. They want you that mindset. You know?
Yeah, he stays on Egypt.
Yeah. So this Jeremiah 49, as he said that, verse 31, and it says, "Arise, get you up unto the wealthy nations." And that wealthy nations going to America. You see, a lot of these Americans, they're very spoiled and complacent. You know, you got things like Uber Eats, DoorDash, where you can order food from the comfort of your home, all in the spirit of comfort, state of convenience. You know. So it says, get you up into the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, said the Lord Yahweh. So what these Americans, or these powerful Americans, what they see what transpire in these so-called third world countries, they never take into consideration that this type of vibration will come to the doorsteps of your own homes. You know, people are going through poverty, getting gunned down like a military presence. You don't never expect that this can happen to your so-called great America.
And, a lot of Americans, was it most of that? A lot of Americans are dying, man. Like I know a lot of workers and there's a lot of people who have loved ones that are just dying. So just imagine the grid go out, you can't get a refill on your medication. You can't get on this dialysis machine. All right? And let's say you do got a dialysis, let's say you do have a generator. What if your neighbor doesn't have a generator and their mom is 90 and she needs that dialysis machine? She's 60, 70 and she needs that. So now you have a generator. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to eventually press you to use that generator, man. And they believe that people are already crashing out over bullshit.
This is still the state of so-called normalcy.
We're still in the state of so-called normalcy, right? So just imagine when it's like real situations where their family had eaten in real meals in 3 days and they smell food cooking at your house. They still barbecue meat. Like with Katrina, everybody their mama was grilling the meat before it went bad. But at some point, you gonna run out of meat. And then what?
It's a long time. If you're not plugged in,
Anytime,
that's why we got conflict.
you had a sword, from anything from a pocket knife, all the way to any sort of weapon, This is normal Jake, he got a gun. You got food, it's his food. They're going back to what you were saying. Like, normal saying is you need this generator.
That's not
They got some type of weapon. You just sitting there on your lonesome, that's his generator now.
Yeah, that's the gasoline generator. They gonna hit that motherfucker.
shit.
You know what I mean?
Myself, man.
But we got a weapon. Our weapon is Yahweh, Lahashim, and Hawashai, man. Because is, you know, you can make safety protocols, you can take certain measures, but ultimately it's going to depend on how Bahashim outside. Because you can make a bomb shelter, you can make a doomsday prep, you can put $5,000 on a project, $10,000, $20,000, and guess what? The grid go out and you 20 miles from home. You know, you have no access to your plug out, but you do get things that you can take with you. You know, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You know.
And that's the part of the problem, man. Because some brothers you might can go to basically more experience and knowledge on certain other things. That's why you have to utilize, like the elder was going to earlier, the body.
It says convenience of society refers to the ease and accessibility of goods, services, and technologies that simply impact their daily life.
You talk to people that's been in the military or that's just traveled in general, and they'll tell you that we haven't made it in America because the things you take for granted, they might not have, say, in Ghana. They don't have all these structured houses that's actually safe to abide in. You got parts of the world like the favelas of Brazil that are slums. You see? So even a struggling motherfucker in America will have a nice apartment or a reliable apartment as opposed to a house that might have a shed on top of another country. So Americans have an A, even if you're classified as low income. Section 8. You know? Americans haven't made, even if they're classified as low income, and it's actually been used as a weapon against you, man. It's been used as a weapon against you. So now when he turns that convenience off, you're gonna be cooked.
It's gonna allow you to be so independent on him. So when he takes these so-called pleasures away from you, you're gonna run to him again with this MOTP system we live in, you know?
So dependent on.
Yeah, so depending on your psyche. Yes, Becky. Yes.
That's part of that nigga being a psychopath too. He wants you to depend on him, man. He wants to feel like he's God, man. He wants to feel like he's the most high, man. You know? And now people are gonna go crazy, it's gonna be mass slaughters, it's gonna be purge. It's gonna come with that manna from the sky.
Yeah.
That manna from the sky.
Artificial manna.
That artificial manna, man. And it's gonna be the M to the O to the T to the B, man. The artificial manna, man. That solution in the desert. Yeah, come on, man. You got it, bro.
It says the pursuance of convenience has significant impacts on society, including changes in the lifestyle, consumer behavior, and even the way we work and interact with each other.
Yep. So I mean, hey, you got contractors working on my job, right? So they remodeling the place, right? And where it is, contractors are still. And you know, long story short, somebody was saying like, yeah, they building this too. It's a quiet struggle, and that's why you should be careful about your personal feelings and what you take the personal feelings to. Because people could be probing you to suddenly see if you got more than them. On a subtle level. It's gonna get to that. You know? Alright.
Every time this kind of stuff comes up, you gotta
Say,
blame
other people, you have weapons and everything, but we have our own weapons. You know, this is
brother ain't never heard you. They heard you all.
Psalm 18, verses 2 and 3. I'll read verse 1, 2, and 3. It says, I will love thee, O Lord, Yahweh Shai, my strength. Lord Yahweh Shai is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and my horn of salvation, and my high tower.
You think about, you say, shelter, refuge, or something, fortress, which goes to like a refuge, like a covering. What the majority of people are going to be doing these latter times, they want their covering from Esau Edom. According to Isaiah the 30th chapter, you're going to get that too, in NLT, you know, how they're going to be running to Egypt for help, you know, and that's by the means of this MOTP system. And so a lot of people right now, you know, they downplaying and thinking it's not going to happen, but that's the same sentiment that the people did when C-19 came around, especially when it came with the jab. A lot of people were saying they're not going to take it, they're against it. And the more pressure they start putting upon these people, the more people start giving in to this jab thing, you know? And look at the state of these Americans now. turbo cancer rates, AIDS rates, things of that sort. You know?
But just imagine the average American is sick. They're not healthy, but they go to the hospital like it's sick. So the moment they have some type of ailment, some type of imbalance, they go to the ER, they go to the private practitioner. But just imagine when the grid goes out, man, and you have cancer, you have all these different ailments, man.
I just be thinking that grid happens, like people gonna be like on the highways, like driving 80 miles per hour and stuff like that. Automatically, like most of these cars, these modern cars, they already link up to this, you know, this with the chip and stuff like that. So when they shut the grid down, the cars gonna automatically stop. Are you in the air, on an airplane or something like that?
Like the movie that was directed by the Obamas,
Leave the world
Leave the World Behind. All those Teslas, crashing, man.
And he looked over the horizon and saw the sea, explosion, everything like this. I think everybody did what y'all said.
This
People
back in
who
Isaiah
can't
chapter
get away from
41,
convenience, hang around from like this public city and
Unless, behold, all things
He
that
wasn't
were
a survival of the people.
did
Hey, then planes,
exist against thee
and because the planes depending on the
shall be
technology
ashamed
and
and
towers.
confounded.
There's people that really want to put us together.
In verse 3, it said, I will call upon the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, who is worthy to be praised. So I shall be saved from my enemies. You know, going back to what you said before, everybody else, you know, they have faith in Esau, they have faith in the strong, they got faith in, you know, from life to guns and any type of thing. But this is also a here, you know, also with the Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, that's our protection. You know, we ain't got nothing. All we got to do is steadfast and hold on to the Yahweh Shema Shai. We got that ultimate faith that he don't have to do. You know, what the brother says, you know, if it's for us to die, you know, then we gonna die. If it's for the Lord to save us, then He gonna save us. But I'm letting your ass know I'm not bound to leave to pieces.
Yeah, all I know is we're not taking it. I don't know the A to the B to the C to the D as to how I'm gonna maneuver. All I know is what I'm not gonna do. I'm not taking that shit.
The Lord gave us that same spirit, the prelude with the MOTV. You know, the C-19 situation. You know, certain brothers had their jobs threatened. Certain brothers did lose their jobs. But they still put their integrity in Yahweh Shema Shai. And you saw what happened, what transpired today. Brothers got blessed even more, man. You know?
Isaiah 30. It's Isaiah 30 and 1 in the NLT. What sorrow awaits my rebellious children, says the Lord. You make plans that are contrary to mine.
And then rebellious goes into like somebody like insubordinate. You know, it really represents the 2/3 of our people, man. You know, they fight back against Yahweh Shema Shai and how? Through the mouth of his holy prophets. They reject what we're saying through the spirit, so therefore that blood is going to be upon their hands very soon. You know?
Make alliances not directed by my spirit, thus piling up your sins.
Yeah, so they're making alliances with the God of this world, referencing to Esau Edom, not our true power source, Yahweh Shema Shai. You best believe that the Heavenly Father, hey, he's just like a regular Judite. When you do something wrong against a Judite, you can't just really anybody within the nation of Israel, they remember that. So when that time comes when you really need that person, hey, they're not going to get nothing. You see them trying to cry and beg for them and things of that sort. So the Most High is going to forget you. That's going to be a terrible case for the majority of our people, man.
Verse 12. Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find
Realize,
them.
like you know, what the scripture said, like, see how the faith of the mustard seed. Some people, Lord, like, you know how much the Lord got to not fuck with you to even not give you that amount of faith? Like, the word, like, when you talking about how, like, certain people, they come into the truth, they fall out. It's like, you know, Shai said, I don't know you. Like, that's scary, bro. That's scary. Like, you seeking the one, and he, like, he's still falling short of the shoulder on yours.
It's a fucking demonic ass bounty on brothers' heads. I say brothers, I mean me, like Satan is out to sift you as wheat. So hey, that's why it says fight the good fight of faith, man. It's a whole spiritual war that we can't even see, man.
So shall they
Day by day. That's why the scripture says he that contended from the small things shall fall by little and little. We gotta stay in this thing, man. Right?
Same time, when we hear it said race 144.
and his glory from the rising of the
So
sun.
continue in this race. It's marathon. This is verse 2. It says, "For without consulting me, you have gone down to Egypt for help. You have put your trust in
When
Pharaoh's
the enemy
protection."
shall come in like a
You have
Hey, there you go. You have to put your trust in Pharaoh's protection, man. See, you look at, because back in that time, Pharaoh thought he was God. In this time, the elites, they think they're the most high. And they want you to eat out of their hands, man. And a lot of jakes, they really can't fathom an existence outside of Esau. So when this thing hits the fan, Jake is going to be 10 toes down for the MOTP.
And that's a bold statement to tell the mass population you will own nothing and be happy.
Yep.
You know, so that shows that Esau deal with the higher ups. They really like demigods in this setup right now. You know? So they're gonna have a lot of people eating out the cause of their hands.
Either way, it's gonna put the enemy to flight.
It says, "You have tried to hide his shade. By trusting in Pharaoh, you will be humiliated, and by depending on him, you will be disgraced."
By hiding that shade, it goes into like trust to the image of the beast. So when this actual mark be implemented, it's nothing for you already to trust within Esau. So you're gonna take that trust system, you're gonna go ahead and put yours in. You know, you're gonna be willing participants when he introduces MOTP system. You can see what's going on right now. It's all leading to the MOTP. All roads leads to the RFID chip. You know,
You say, "Choose ye the gods whom you want to serve."
Hey, even Chime, they have a little barcode scanner. You know how you can scan someone's cash out? Now you can do that with Chime. It's transition, man. It's transition.
It's gonna be far for a tribe. But it's still gonna be a difference.
You know, I've been Walmart on 18 now. You know how to use it. They have more ratings than checkouts. It's like commercials in there. Everything else. It's like
Self-checkouts.
it's like you get a preview of what's to come.
And it feels so concentration.
I walked in there like immediately, like 'cause we can feel it in the spirit. Like immediately when I walked in there, I said, I got to looking around. I said, oh hell no! Like it's like everything else is just straight steps, and they got like 3 E's and they're going down to make sure that the systems keep doing what they're doing. And they,
You know they lifeless in the mud. Eve is lifeless. You know, it works there. But this, y'all remember the Walmart? That same Walmart like 2001, in the 2000s, when they had the deli, they sold nachos and hot dogs. But that was a different Walmart though, wasn't it? It was more wholesome, it was more lively.
They still
Now
make
it's
like
lifeless.
Mad Men.
You know?
Very known.
nobody wants to do his job in there.
Right.
Everybody got a piece of attitude. Yeah, you gonna do like you ever just walk up to a register, go through a drive-through, and immediately got an attitude because she at work. They like, God,
But we know what? That's something we gotta navigate through in this kingdom because it's gonna get worse, and we gotta be more like witnesses in the movie. And it get inside your fucking head how Eve is, but we gotta come back to our stoic self and remember we're inside of a movie watching it.
Passing through.
Yeah, we just passing through. We're not engaging with the characters like that.
just by what you stated, that fulfills biblical prophecy. Luke the 21st chapter, Yahushua did state when the disciples asked him, like, what would be some of your signs or your indicators of your second arrival? What did Yahushua say upon the earth should be distress of nations? So a lot of people are stressed out, man. A lot of people are depressed. They feel hopeless. All the things that they wanted to achieve in this so-called American society, this American dream, they really getting hit with that harsh reality. Now life is really hitting them now. So, really, you got to kind of put yourself in their shoes in a sense by using discerning wisdom. Like, you can't really be mad at these people because they've been oppressed too. Yeah, because they don't even know why they're getting oppressed. At least we do know through the spirit, why these things are happening.
They don't call it oppressed. They just feel oppression from being oppressed. They get overworked, underpaid, and now a lot of jobs. You got people that is not gonna come to work. So the people that do come to work, they gotta compensate for the people that don't come to work. But they're not getting any raises, any promotions.
Hey, there's a thing called within Esau's economics. It's called consumer sentiment, consumer confidence. It goes into like the overall outlook or like the consumers have for the American economy.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are either optimistic or pessimistic. As you see right now, people are more pessimistic about things going on. They saw with Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, those that look out of the window should be dark. this goes into our forecast for America. It's a very dark, gloomy time.
It's that word oppression. I said oppression in the Bible meaning. It says in the Bible, oppression refers to a physical and spiritual hardship, often involving an unjust exercise of power and authority. And that's what Esau is doing right now. He has an unjust exercise of power and authority. He ultimately feeling his wrong, but as the roughly paraphrase, what he said, as the king took some so
he did it anyway. So he should.
I was just gonna say your democracy is the people. That's it.
You see the whole world right now, they're in that state of groaning. You know, this is all the consequences when the wicked bear rule. And we're seeing everything been transpiring right now. Hey, people are totally giving up. I saw a license plate not too long ago we had on there hopeless. You know? So it shows you that's the expression of these Americans, man.
This is just the beginning of it. Beginning of it, man. You know what type of epidemic, not epidemic, you know what type of crisis you're gonna have when they fully cut out Section 8?
Second
For the scriptures say this gonna be a time
they should be like mad being spared none, but still
should be like
and destroying.
As it says, because iniquity shall guys. What's that? Hard times? Hard times, the love of many shall wax cold. You're not gonna give a fuck if you're in survival mode. Get 10 and 1. No, Ecclesiastes cuts. Okay, it's lies.
This is Proverbs 29:2.
Spirit, that's right.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people move.
People rejoice, that's that consumer confidence up. But right now, the morale of the consumer is down, man. You know, it's gonna be an interesting so-called Christmas if we make it that far. Interesting holiday season, man. You know, because hey, look, man, people start.
They should waste and take away their
I mean, we're not going to the club. Why go to a club if everybody knows now that everybody's struggling? Well, you know, like you can't fake the fuck no more.
Then shall they know
now
my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold.
Like you'll be like, I scroll through TikTok looking for different stuff, do videos, and they'll have like things like called Cartier watches now, where it look like the rapper watches, they're like $50. So niggas be buying shit like that, they try to
keep that morale up.
Yeah, they trying to fight for their image.
Yeah, because I saw Jake on TikTok, I got to do my due diligence. I just saw it from Kemp. He was basically saying what they was really trying to hide from China. China has some information about that so-called designer. The designer that owns $200 clothes, $2,000 clothes, it wasn't coming from Italy, it was coming from China. And they was trying to keep that, but I believe it to be true because there was an interview from a particular designer company who made designer clothes, but they also sold designer glass frames. And the question was, like, how was that designer if the glass frame was made out of wood? You know, designer tree wood. So they just take advantage of America's superficial nature. Put a name on it.
There's a documentary for this true Negro.
1970.
They go into, if you really look at the difference, what's the difference between the simple Nike shirt and the shirt you get out of Walmart? It's all different. Like you go into like a person, it's all made out of the same shit. All the difference is it just got a logo on it.
But you know what? I don't want to keep ranting.
We're gonna be martyrs,
But
but we believe
the elites look at you like a mouth. That's what I call you a consumer. All right? If you're an American, you are engineered to be a consumer. It's like you were literally from the level of psychology and science engineered to consume. They look at you like a test subject, man. Useless eaters, man. So even the science to manipulate you to overspend. I was thinking about this analogy. I spoke on it before. This is on YouTube. This is restaurant that sells $1,000 steaks. So But the steak isn't really worth $1,000. What they do, when they bring it out, I think they have like special lights to come on, the regular lights turn off, put the sparklers on the plate, and make the person that's really overspending feel special. Is that not what they do? Yeah, is that not what they do with Jake? Custom the fouling? Who created that custom fouling? They had to be released. Because what is all Jake rap about is giving the money right back to his oppressor. And what does Eve do? She spends billions of dollars on weave and makeup. You're targeted. That's what you don't understand. You're the mark. You gotta call somebody a mark. You got a con going on, and that's the mark. All right, our people, that's the mark, man. What's going on, man? All right, go ahead.
Now, so that seed began like at a very young age, elementary. And you had the non-brand shoes on, stuff like that, clothing.
And
You hit that emotion.
And speaking of elementary, when you watch your cartoon, it's a 30-minute show, right? But it only lasts 22 minutes. So you got 8-minute commercials. So what was the commercial? It's for the consumer. So you're like 4 or 5 years old with a toy being waved in front of your face. And you're going to say, Mommy, I want that.
They say for it is not.
They got it down to a science, man. Even when it comes to
Fast food, all that.
the toy in the bag, the toy in the cereal.
Streaming platform.
His servants, okay?
All
He's
that
gonna
shit
put
got
his spirit
commercials
upon
and
us.
shit.
He's
Yeah.
gonna cause his
You
word to
gotta
come
pay
out
extra,
the way he
you know,
wants
To
to.
not have commercials.
You get rid of it, then they still call you and say, well, we know you got no commercial, but
The Lord is gonna utilize
since
his
you watching this,
to deliver a
that
message.
program still got commercials in it.
Well, they used to have something called cable. It's kind of ancient now. They used to have 24-hour networks where they just marketed products. Like no matter what time of day you turned on this particular station, QVC. Yeah, there's a QVC. No matter what time you turn to that, they were selling your product, man. This is how they look at Americans. Americans is an import country, man. Because like, what the fuck do you export from America, man? But America's that's why. Can we get to Revelation 18? All right, go ahead, bro.
This is Revelation 18 and verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Why would the merchants of the earth weep and mourn, man? America ain't gonna get destroyed, or we don't know what we're talking about. Why?
Because
Would the merchants mourn? This was their cash cow. That's why I said it was at Isaiah 13. You get that? The Arabs should not pitch tent there. What's this tent? The damn gas stations. All right, go ahead.
And understand that this is real.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
They got these shipping docks right on the coast. I want to say in New Orleans.
You know,
All right.
all the incredulity
And they
that's
got
going through your
tons and tons of
being
products
rooted
being
in a
shipped to
society
America.
that
Now, you
makes
think
you
this
feel
is the
wonderful.
old school
But it
scripture,
ain't gonna
right?
feel so wonderful.
But where do you think you get the term shipping and handling from? It's being shipped. What the fuck does Memphis have? Remember the movie Castaway?
Every now and again,
His character worked for the FedEx company, did he not? The videos that work for the FedEx company, CEOs. But what is the FedEx? What is the FedEx? What is the ship? It's the airplane. So you got the actual ships. They ship products from say China, all right, to the Americans. That's why they make the $50 an hour. It's like a shortcut to receive this portion of the continent. You better give them like a shot.
This is Revelation 18 and 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Because she's burnt up. America, because like I said, they at least got it set up to where everybody's going to eat off the stupidity of an American. Everybody's going to eat because if you were born and raised in America, including ourselves, we have been programmed literally to consume. Nobody hardly grows anything. You don't raise anything because you have a store right down the street. We're in the South. You might have an auntie with a little tomato garden, but in general, man, everybody's dependent on corporate-owned products, man. All right, go ahead.
This is just going into corporate profits, like big businesses, not small-owned businesses, not your grocery store. This is corporate profits. And this is a Google search. It said the total corporate profits in the United States. This is a quick point, we'll get straight to it. It said the first quarter of 2025, the U.S. corporate profits were reported to be $3.889 trillion. So that's just in 3 months for corporate businesses. You're talking about almost $4 trillion. in 3 months.
That's within a bad economy. So, but you know what? They have it to it. I remember reading a book, and it was going into how basically commercials manipulate you through your emotions. And that's why in commercials, there's a puppy in a commercial, there's a child in a commercial, there's your grandparents in a commercial, and they do that to evoke emotion. They might have music playing in the background. All right? So what are they know to a science, man, that you're gonna be weak and vulnerable towards your loved one.
They be asking me certain questions. They're gonna try to get all personal with you.
Yeah.
Have you done this, or have you been like that, or you know, would you like?
It's a hustle. Everything is a hustle. Like I said, I was thinking about the nigger woman, right? I was like, they singled her out just so she could be a mark. They took her out the household just so they could target her as an individual. Because women by nature are more liberal in their spending, and men are more conservative in their spending. But Eve is probably if you can Google it, but what race of women is the #1 consumer? You know? But I know Eve is up there. I don't know if she's #1. She's up there because she spends over $1 billion in weave and makeup. So all that, and that's why Eve thinks she's a victim, right? Where did that victim shit come from? They're targeting Eve. They're pandering to you. Tyler Perry pandered to you. You went to all of his plays back in the early 2000s. Right? He catered to your emotions. He made you think you were
waiting on this moment. I seen the video with him, like him and his neighbor talking. He was talking about he couldn't wait till society go down because he had a few people he wanted to offer. So it's gonna be straight up.
might have to do
Netflix strong. Basically, it's about it's money. Like it's pretty much put Eve back in their victim mind. Like the daughter had just died, yeah. But you know, she was having a hardship. She ended up shooting and killing her boss. Motherfucker went to the bank with a gun, trying to make them pants. Chick, they thought she was trying to rob the motherfucker. But you see how they trying to, we know this nigga's a monster, so he's gonna be all about it. But he really, that whole movie was culturally putting the mind back in Eve being that victim. Like, so if you look at it, everybody, justice for her. Like, she ain't going through, like, everybody ain't going through something. That whole movie started about putting Eve
young
back
enough to
in
be in the
that
military
victim
and finish it, man.
mindset. But she can't do no wrong.
But this is what we figured out through the spirit. I mean, of course, it's an overthrow. But how much money was made off Eve alone? See, when you was under the supervision of a so-called black man, he was monitoring your spending. But he would be in charge of the money traditionally. But now that you've been singled out, you brag about how you got all these degrees, but it's to make money, just to spend money. When you take these trips, y'all go to these bars, or y'all buy these drinks, y'all get these lace fronts, these eyelashes, or everybody eats. When Eve got her own money. When a woman got her own money, the whole economy eats, man. Because you're the mark. And because you just to the book something about a fool and his money.
This is from the Google AI overview. When I looked up what race of women are the most consumers, and they said while the information provided does not state which race of women are definitely the most consumers in the U.S., based on overall spending volume across all categories, it highlights the significant and growing impact of certain groups. Here's a breakdown based on available data. Black women, #1, they are trendsetters and early adopters with considerable influence over consumer purchasing decisions, even for individuals outside their own communities. The buying power of the U.S. black population is projected to reach 1.8 trillion by 2024.
You know that's more than a lot of independent countries. Yeah, right, that's right. Because the average, so the so-called, we talking about Southern Kingdom alone. The Southern Kingdom's buying power is going to be at 1.8 trillion, man.
Right. They said if black women control over 40% of this spending power.
They black women, so you've been singled out because you don't never read about Arab woman and her individual spending power, Elamite woman, because they're a part of a family.
Thank you up. It says, guess who's next in line? Hispanic women. It said, black and Hispanic women represent significant and growing consumer groups with substantial purchasing power and influence in various markets, particularly in beauty and personal care. So going to the hair industry, you know?
Yep, because that's the $1 billion industry between their fake hair and them lace fronts. And their makeup and their lace front, it's a $1 billion industry, man.
They say in 2025, black women consumers are projected to have the buying power exceeding 1.98 trillion, so double than what it was for 2024.
And it's black people.
This is black consumers, and then it goes down into black woman. It says the black women are, it's like a so-called black women are particularly influential in beauty and healthcare, while black women spending 4 times more on hair and beauty than any other group in some parts of the world, spending 25% of their monthly income on hair.
25% of their monthly income on, that's a lot!
And they go back in the way he just said, you said too, black women are also trendsetters in areas like music, television, fashion, beauty, influencing buying decisions beyond their own community.
Yeah, because you're still Judah, so you set the trend, but you also spend the money.
25%.
Now you see our music industry in this mind control mechanism, for lack of better words, to get you to spend. And Jacob had a low self-esteem because they couldn't afford expensive shit. But it was all, Edomite sat in a room and figured this shit out like, no, you're going to make them spend on dumb shit.
That's why they liberated me. She has to work.
Yeah. And the money she makes, she comes right back into her. Just like, because you know what I know? You know what I noticed about certain black women? They can't manage money. They can't keep money. They know how to get the bag, but they can't manage it. You have a simple everyday Jake with a used truck in an apartment. We can manage his money better than a nurse practitioner or a doctor.
They say they do better as far as like having money when they sing. They by themselves. When they're in a relationship.
Because the joke was the woman does better when she's in a relationship, and the man does better when he's single.
I thought it mean was, it was the Jake, he was, it was like him and his woman walked out, and then it was like, it said $500. Then he stepped out, and he stepped back in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Put his woman out, I think it said like $400 or something like that. He pushed up back in the house, and he walked out, it said $20. He closed the door and left.
It ain't worth it if you pay for everything. But that's another thing. Esau got the modern woman being a price. So it's like when you date these women, you pumping money into these you pumping money into these restaurants. So it's all a scheme. But how the wicked things that Esau searched out, man. These industries are nothing but mechanisms to get you to spend, overly spend. You have to have a new phone every year. How many shoes do you need? You know, your car is as soon as you get done paying for it, what happens? Playing obsolescence, man. So what does that tell you, man? Hey, this is all a scheme, man. You think Jake jugging and finessing? Nah, Esau got this thing down to a science.
It's Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
Yeah, and he seduced you through the industry. Well, in this context, he seduced you to consume through the music industry. And it just so happens that every motherfucker you heard on the radio, they're talking about spending money, their worth and their value, and then they shit on you.
Yeah, you don't got it.
Yeah.
Now, so it's really the battle of the haves and the have not.
Yeah.
You know? But it promotes you to be covetous at the end of the day, what's it leading to? Sin. No, when you be covetous, like you can't afford it, you be like, dang, I gotta get it somehow. Especially if you're a man, you try to please your so-called woman. Look how many Jakes in jail right now are in the grave behind a woman. They're trying to please a woman. They're trying to cater to her, man. You know?
We get that from Ezra's 4.
What's that movie called? They Live? I haven't seen it, but somebody else.
Yeah.
Put in the group chat. But it's like when you put the lens, when you put the lens on, I call it the lens of the house shot. When you put the lenses of your house shot on, you start to see the world for exactly what it is. And then that movie, the lenses they put on, that's what I call it, the lenses of your house shot. Now you can see all the signs that say, conform, consume, obey, listen. Basically, it's just a constant repetitiveness of telling people to consume, obey.
Because we're not supposed to be that fucking impulsive and that spontaneous to where you spending money every day. And it's easy to fall for it. But you're not supposed to be, that's not the Jerusalem way, bro. It's not the Hebrew way to every day you spend the money. 2 times a day, 3 times a day. You just buy. I got to taste for this. I got to taste for that. I got to taste for this. And then what happens? You look at your refrigerator, you food rot. You forgot you bought this. You forgot you had that pair of shoes. Because as soon as you leave the house, you're distracted. You got it, bro.
This is Proverbs 21:20. There's treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spending it up.
A foolish man spending it up, man.
This is in the NLT. It reads, the wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get.
Verse 35.
And we
For I am upset, man,
The wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get.
Because the Hebrew way is really you more conservative, man. You're not going to the market every fucking day. We had markets back then. But you're not going to the market every fucking day. You stock up on once you get your wages or however your payment structure is. When you go to the market, you store up, man.
J. Cole said that years ago when he first signed his deal, he said he splurged. So I guess that's just the nigga urge.
Yeah.
So the nigga urge, like you said, which is that Western way, you gotta spend it, you gotta have it. Everything you see, you got pretty much like the mindset of a woman. You know what I'm saying? You're not really just stable in the mindset, you'll fall for anything out there.
And that's why, because going back to the garden, the serpent isolated Eve, man. And what happened in this setup? He liberated Eve. He isolated your ass because you so easy to manipulate. The so-called black woman, when you isolate her, that's what the Tyler Perrys and the Color Purples and R&B niggas singing with the shirt off and shit. It's a business, man.
Crazy than them R&B niggas is the niggas that she got lined up, ready to spin the bag on her ass.
Well, they sipping now. They straight sipping, man.
The whole economy, you look at like entertainment is designed to go to woman. All they do is look at everything. No matter where you go, it's gonna be a beauty supply store somewhere. It's gonna be the nail salon. Everything on the TV is pretty much like for her. Even look at clothes. Look at the general cost of clothes. Look at you can go anywhere where the cost of clothes for women, and it's at least 50 to 75%.
I'm gonna say this quick point because I know you got something to bring out. Because she's the market. You got a casino, right? If you're this loyal casino, like you're that person that's always in this fucking casino. All right, what do they have for you? A hotel room. They give you certain perks. You might do like valet parking. They got little different things because, like, really, he's our mark. This is our food right here. So you're gonna make your food feel good for excessively spending that money. So this is kind of be carried as a woman, and from a financial standpoint, you're the mark. You're the gullible one.
Like you were saying about the cities, that's why so many women, they caught up into the way of the city life. Which goes back to metropolitan. Which goes back to what metropolitan, which goes back to what mother city. That's why you see the majority of these women, where they be at? They be in the cities, man. Yeah. We were talking about money.
We were talking about women, they said, I can wait on the beauty city house. I thought First Timothy 6:10, it said, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after they have ears from the faith and pierced themselves through the sorrow.
Because Esau, he promotes a Maccabean spirit. Going back to the scripture brother brought out, the righteous are more excellent than his neighbor, but the good and wicked seduce him. He seduce your ass to just chase money. Because every fucking song in the music industry is about getting money. Like, who gives a fuck about money? Goddamn, nigga.
Well, you know it's a heavy demanding vibration because I know just when we was like in high school, things of that sort, Jake was really on that type of time. Like get a bag and all this stuff. That makes you want to go get in there, you know?
The Lord is killing that too. Cause I saw I can't remember who it was. One for they made a comment, they said being rich is boring. They said when you ain't got the money, you doing all this shit to get it. But once you got it, shit, they said then what? That just shows you even then, money does not fill that gap when you come out last night.
And then go ahead. The Most High didn't create this existence on this planet for you to ignore 20 years of your life just to focus on the end goal. I mean, you supposed to enjoy every day you wake up, man. I mean, we're in captivity on this side, but you supposed to enjoy the sunrise and the sunset, of the beautiful pond, the lake, and this, enjoy your children. You know, we're not supposed to have this light at the end of the tunnel thing where you ignore it, you never stop to smell the roses, but you just focus on money, 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 man.
Ecclesiasticus 7 verse 23 in the GNT. If you have sons, educate them, teach them self-discipline while they are young. Self-discipline will go straight self-control. As you see, the majority of these so-called men within America, they got the vibration of a woman. You know, they got to have that thing, that mentality. They got to, get it how they live, things of that sort. Yeah, so they got discipline in the spirit.
That makes sense. Why you grab the majority of men have that vibration of a woman. Look at how, look at the YNs, for example. They emotional as fuck. They ain't got no problem solving. They ain't got no skill. When it comes to anything, they overreact to that shit all the time.
But they're gullible too. They're emotional spirit, bro. But the YNs, every time they have a YN guy, it's a nigga with money like this. It's a nigga like, who fucking holds money like that? Or like that, like big fucking stupid goofies.
They got a video just doing shit
because you know what? The first mark was easy, but the YN is her son. So now I got two targets, man. I got two, but if you're a worker, you probably trying to put money back, you're a lame ass, you lame. But the YNs, Esau, anybody that Esau celebrates, I study that shit. Because I'm like, man, that's the dummy. Yes. But ironically, the woman, they're kind of like men in the sense that now they go and get this career and make their own money, they put them in a masculine spirit, man. They put, they want to be alpha females and shit. They want to move with autonomy and just want to get up and go wherever they want to go.
That shit don't ever fucking work. It never fucking works. It's the same thing over and over. Look at the Earth Purge. Everywhere this bitch told them to go, somebody was dying.
This is what the Lord is
it never fucking works in the woman. Woman is the patriarch. When you look at the word patriarch, it goes with a woman being the head of a tribe or the head of a family. It always results in fucking disputes. It never works.
So back in Ecclesiasticus 7:23 in GNT, if you have sons, educate them, teach them self-discipline while they are young.
Because I'm from a grown ass man perspective. If you can't manage yourself, it's over. Because what is this Sirach 19? Wine and women make it men to understand and follow away. What do you have in bars as well? But that kills a man's self-government. If you can't regulate your vices, man, hey, that shit it'll destroy you. Like, hey, and you shouldn't have to promote money to a woman. You had Jakes, they can't talk to a woman without bringing up money. You know what I mean? It's actually quite the opposite. You really supposed to downplay that shit, man. Right?
It's pretty much like for that spirit of hockey. Coming to America.
Oh, yeah.
Met that bra in New York.
Yeah, just servants.
That's when you really see a woman can really naturally like you for yourself.
Because Jake got that poor self-image. Jake feel like they can't talk to this woman without,
You're what's the word called? That's how you show yourself. So if you look at the average brother who, brothers ain't, we don't have millions of dollars, but a brother got a place to stay, a brother got a vehicle, a brother got a good job, a brother is able to eat, and all the basic needs, the brother comfortable. And that's really all you should really need is just for the Lord. The Lord gonna give you what you need, and He gonna give you a little bit of extra and throw some grace on you. That's all you should really want, bro.
He's talking about vanity.
And then a lot of Yeah, don't quote me on this, but I believe it to be true. But the jobs with the highest suicide rate are the highest paying jobs. Like psychologists, jumping off the buildings and shit, man.
That's systematically designed to be.
Yeah.
And they put more hell and pressure upon you the higher you go into those rates and income levels.
And then so doctors be offering themselves. It's a certain Elder Pastor Hart, they had a word for it. But it's a certain spirit of appreciation when your life is simple. Like you just go to work, go home. And he was talking about like the blue collar labor they do. But like guys like us, man, we do that blue collar stuff, man. It's simple, man. You know?
They hate them.
Yesterday, I was kind of overwhelmed yesterday with my damn self. At the end of the night, I'm like, God damn, I've been busy all damn day, you know? And I was like, damn, I'm gonna just cut my fucking phone off. You know, fuck these, I've been doing repairs and shit. I mean, fuck these repairs, man. I gotta focus on what I gotta focus on. Because if I don't, man, this shit just has consumed me, you know?
Yeah, this matrix, man, like you're not anchored in your house shot, you'll become unstable in spirit, man. That's why these people right now, they're running wild, man.
Yeah, man.
They like wild animals.
Post-slavery, Esau, they say the spirit of appreciation is something working home. It's talking about finding satisfaction, meaning, and sense of value in everyday tasks and the comfortable environment of our own lives. It says it involves recognizing the beauty and worth of seemingly ordinary things rather than focusing on the extraordinary or material possessions.
It's the little things. There was once a lady that stayed in my apartment complex. She had the wind chime. It just made like a certain frequency and it was good for the soul. She had hummingbird nectar. So I would see hummingbirds up close sometimes in the year. But it was just simplicity. You know? You sit down and maybe you live on a piece of land. You got you a wooden bench, a rocking bench.
You made something with your own hands.
Yeah.
I love the ginger and lemon tea, the little godly and sick baby. And it smells totally, you got the country, it smells totally atmosphere. You walk outside, you know that. I do that shit right now, I be like, what the fuck?
Because Esau created a bullshit product. He did really well with promoting it.
Okay, this Proverbs 29 and 18 within the NLT. When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. But whoever obeys the law is joyful.
Yeah, they're divine guidance because the laws tell you, you receive your wage, you pay your tax, you buy your bicycles, your goodies. But it's an order to it, man. All right, but to just be an impulsive spender, man, nah, that's running wild, man. And that's not a man. We're learning what it is to be a man. A man has self-government. So Babylon, you're not reacting off everything, every shiny movie thing, man. All right, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself, but you do it based off your structure. You're not just reacting, ooh, I want that, ooh, I want that.
Even though you might have it.
Even though you might have it. And then that rapper Don Trip was like, he was just rapping about being a father. And he was like, even if I can afford it, we're not eating out every day. That's expensive. You know? I'm chopping it up. Y'all was like, they got the grown man right. They got your house shine look. I don't know which one's name is.
The weapon we see now, nothing compared to the one they're going to bring down
This
later.
book of Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, chapter 10, starting at verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
And that's what we're learning back here, man. First of all, we learn the order in the spirit, the chain of command. But even in our personal lives, man, we learn how to do better with money. And we learn that one of the core virtues of being a man is discipline, man. All right, and when you get a system together, then you realize how much Babylon is. So, because sometimes you're scared to say, I don't want to work if I don't have money. Sometimes you're scared to say, I'm not going to work overtime. I'm not going to do this extra gig for right now. Because I need to recover. You should be able to afford to make that decision.
It's time, Lord, never shall be.
When I was a kid, I used to stay my ass up to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like now I'd be like, You know, it just looks simple stuff like this.
You know what I'm saying? Since the beginning of the world, you
Verse 2, it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of the man, what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Nature of the serpent. You know, well, really, you want to go back. The blessing was between Jacob and Esau. Now, Esau very impulsive.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
he want to take time, you know. So look at the majority of the people are now. They got that same vibration as Esau.
But they do because if they miss the afternoon lunch, they don't. They already had breakfast, and somebody's going to kill them for getting their 12 o'clock lunch. They're tripping, man.
They're very irritable.
Yeah, because they showing you those food, those food products, the drugs, man. It's and you really have to withdraw. It's a lot, bro. So, when you get angry, you have to withdraw. Because you have to withdraw from the chemicals they put in food.
And now, it's only becoming more professional. You know, that refined sugar, that's a drug.
It's an actual drug.
Right now, like breaking, I'm speaking personally, like now breaking from that sugar, the body started to have withdrawals. Like you just walk in the store, your mind is like, oh, candy. You're like, nah, I gotta chill. But then you go like what you said, that shit is a drug.
Because what Esau does, man. His shit make you gotta appreciate what the Most High created. Because the candy is an imitation of fruit.
What they not showing us?
Every
What they really got?
yeah, every fucking candy you see, every fucking candy brand, that they have a little cartoon of fruit on it. Grape, apple, sour apple, is an imitation of fruit. When you go through the withdrawal phase, you actually appreciate the taste of fruit.
21 starting at verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of the nation with perplexity. The sea of the waves rolling.
Right. So, Heavenly Father, he's doing more signs.
Verse 3, it says an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Here's the point, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Shah, and in due time he will set it over to one that is profitable.
And the one that is profitable to his king Yahweh. He's going to establish order within the planet Earth. It's not going to be children running wild because you got actual YNs running wild. You got women who are servants. They're running wild. They're children. Or you got Edomites running wild. He has everybody running after his demonic impulsive vibration, man. He don't care if you mess with your wife. He don't care if if you ate swine. He just don't give a shit, man. And that's the average person in the Western world, man.
Where I think profitable goes into like advantageous, like beneficial. You know, it shows you like when the righteous come into authority, like the people gonna rejoice, along with just the animals, plants, trees, everything. Everybody gonna rejoice because the rightful children of the nation of Israel will be back in their respective borders. Righteous vibrations back there. It's gonna be a righteous vibration. It's gonna be a righteous vibration, man. Like we always go to about Lion King, Right now you can see Scar, he's ruling right now. Everything's dark, gloomy. Everybody's depressed, sick. Yeah. And nature is dying and things of that sort. So when righteous be in authority, you're gonna see everything gonna be in this more gloomful state, if that makes sense,
Because the earth is a gift. The earth was supposed to be a gift for the sons of the Most High. That original generation, man. So the earth is supposed to bear all types of fruits. The flowers supposed to give all types of odors. Historians was basically saying that the mountains weren't rugged, dry places. They were actually meadows filled with grass and flowers and stuff. So the earth is going to be people friendly in the kingdom. All right, and that's why. But I just say Ezekiel 36. It said he's going to restore it better than it was in the beginning.
Because the scripture said before then was like the going to the missiles, the Garden of Eden. But it makes sense how the earth is going to be people friendly because even before the wicked corrupted the earth, how the Lord made Adam, hey, it was peace then.
It was peace. In that particular scripture, it's telling you like America was beautiful before the missiles came. After it's gonna be a desert. But yeah, in the time of Adam, Earth was a paradise.
No, under Yahweh Shai. So under Yahweh Shai again.
Because King Solomon being in power doesn't prelude.
So now Yahweh Shai becoming his, his stead, he's going to perfect it. You know?
But that's the whole point for it.
Man.
I know, man. Brother was looking up something.
We're going back to that simplicity. Speaking of, this is Proverbs 15 and 16. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure with the trouble therewith. It says, better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a starved ox and hatred thereof. So it's better to have the little things that Yahweh Shai give you with the fear of the Lord, because you know you appreciate it more, and because we know that you understand that. Hey, what we give, hey, what we got, that's a blessing, you know. And the Lord,
they don't trust.
we got more to come.
You know what I'm saying?
And what I think goes to how the earth was made for our as the brothers just mentioned, how the world was basically made, you know, to be in heaven, and because we this is a living world, like, this is a living earth.
Right.
You know,
it actually breathes. It has a they call it the true man, the shoe man resonance. I have to look it back up. The shoe man resonance, but the earth actually pulsates. So you made a beautiful point where it reminded me, it's like the shoe man frequency. Instead of the resonance. Yeah. It's the shoe man resonance. And it's basically the pulse of the planet. And she pulsates, I think, at 7 hertz. 7.8 hertz. So that's why she could grow food. She grow watermelon. She could grow an apple tree because she's a living, breathing spirit, man.
And for looking at those things which are coming on.
And then we have her phenotype. I don't mean to get on, but this is her phenotype. This is, you know how they say, boy, you got some mama eyes. This earth suit is her. It's from her. Yeah, it's a really but the spirit is from Abba.
that's why they get grounded.
Yeah. You gotta go back to Abba. It's like you breastfeeding. Come on, man.
I got you. This is called, Google search, the shoe man frequency. It said the shoe man frequency likely refers to screw man. Shoe man resonance, a natural electromagnetic resonance of the earth, often described as the planet's heartbeat. The resonance typically occurs around 7.8 hertz. The frequency as part of the shoe resonance, which are a set spectral peaks in the Earth's electromagnetic field. But at 7.8 hertz,
So they call it Mother Earth. Mother Earth. It shows you it's a spirit.
Hey, oh, gosh. Hey, the second avatar.
Ooh.
The second avatar. The daughter, she put her head to the ground. And she was like, I can hear her. I gotta watch it again, but she was like, I can hear her. You know, and now that we got the information, go ahead, bro.
Now you got it.
And I don't know if she heard it pulsate, but she was like, breathe.
It just shows you how we are when
It says, what does shoe man resonance do to humans? It says the shoe man resonance is believed to have a positive effect on mood and emotions, promoting feelings of well-being, calmness, and inner peace.
But you know what? My spirit is restored when I take a nature walk. When I take an extended nature walk, it's like, okay, my life comes back into my chest, man. Hey, man, because we got to get nourished. Hey, because what I've noticed, man, it's not good for my mental health to be inside all the time.
Hear all this damn noise.
Yeah. Or just laying in your, just looking at your phone all day, going through, it's not healthy, man. You know? It's like you lose a part of yourself in that shit, man.
It says he cast upon them.
Isaiah 24, verse 4 through 6. It says, the earth mourns and dries up, and the crop wasted away and withered. Even the greatest people of the earth wasted away. Verse 5, the earth suffers for the sins of his people, for they have twisted the Most High's instruction, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenant. Verse 6 says, therefore the curse consumes the earth, his people must pay the price for their sins. They are destroyed by fire, and only a few are left alive. A few going into the overflow death. They're going into now, due to Esau Edom, which is the earth went into that decaying state. You know, now, when Yahweh shall come back, he's going to put the earth back in the original state, in the righteous state. And like I said, the people are going to be destroyed by fire. Alright? So the fire going into the nuclear destruction for that fervent heat. And only a few people are going to be living left there in. I'm probably down we are the number going into the 130.
Who's going to do his bidding, man?
This is Revelation 11:18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
And you know, if he's going to destroy them, he's going to destroy the earth. Now, Job 9:24. Who is it that destroyed the earth? Esau Edom. You saw how he fucking gaslighted the world, thinking that the Israelites are the bad guys? What the fuck did Michael do? They work at FedEx. He got a little side chick. Who wear Tim. What the fuck did he do, man? But Esau is the reason why there's deforestation. Esau is the reason why the animals are becoming endangered, close to extinction. There's plastic in the ocean, man. And you know what? The plastics become microplastics, but they never cancel out. They just become microplastics, and they choke out the algae, they choke out the life force. Don't you know we're breathing because of algae? The forest and algae in the ocean. That's our life force, man. And you choking out our life force. You know? But you're gonna put us on the news and make us the bad guy. Fuck, hey, you're the bad guy, man. And that's why the landlord is coming. And landlord got the visitors with it. And yeah, you're under surveillance. Those auditors coming in from the fourth dimension. And they're hovering, they let you know, like, hey,
You got grand gold.
yeah, hey. This is the eviction notice.
I got this shows that Esau, he's the slumlord of the earth, man. This nigga really just slumlord.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Which are the prophets.
If not, where? Then who is he?
So there's a particular group of men on this planet who are classified as the wicked. Then who is it?
Esau Edom. It's the so-called white man. Because if you look, you don't see no Korean Jesus. You don't see no Japanese Jesus. You don't see no German Jesus. Ain't no prophet of the Bible ever been in a movie, been in another nation. They all look like Esau made. He didn't just stop at Yahweh shop. If you go into what happened during the Renaissance period, during that iconoclasm, when Esau going into the Pope Alexander VI, going into Caesarea Borgia, who really is that fucking faggot on the picture you can't get rid of. But it was a contest between Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci of who could impress the Pope better by making Caesarea Borgia look like the Messiah. And what happened was, not only did like Caesarea Borgia, who is that's who that Jesus Christ is, y'all look at. Look up Caesarea Borgia and look up Jesus Christ. They look identical. But he had a relationship with Michelangelo. No, he had a relationship with Leonardo. He had the relationship with him and Leonardo won the contest. But them niggas, they were some moles. They were so much into that weird shit that he didn't just stop at Yahweh shot. They painted every single person in the Bible to look like Esau.
That's why I said the judges.
So this says, if not word, who is he? He's looking at the niggas. Like, who else does he look like?
Well, I got just to add to that, this bro, First Maccabees 1:7 through 9.
This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7 through 9. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and died. Verse 8, and his servants bear rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them many years, and evils multiplied in the earth.
And evils multiplied in the earth. Because that's the seed of the wicked. And that was the first Ionian Empire, the Grecian Empire, man. So evil is synonymous with wicked. Alright, what's that Malachi? And they even call it the border of wickedness. Yeah, Malachi 1. So everywhere you go, just like the reverse, everywhere Jake goes, the curse is followed. Everywhere Esau goes, wickedness follows. But it's called westernization, freedom, whatever the fuck you want to label it, man. All right?
No matter, if you go into history, man, we appreciate our show to the live again Tuesday. No matter what part of history, like we just read that, Alexander was Edomite. But no matter what part of history you go to, all you gotta do is look at the event, so you can point exactly what it's began. It's like his signature is. I got that Malachi 1 through 4 for you. It says the burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai to Israel by Malachi, verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was Jacob like it when Esau was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord Yahweh Shai? Yet I love Jacob. Alright, verse 3. It says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And here's the point, verse 4. Whereas Edom, and if you look at it in the NLT, it says Esau's descendants. Alright, it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places. Thus said the Lord Yahweh shall host. They shall build, going into the Renaissance. It says, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shai hath been the nation forever.
And it started with the Grecian Empire, then the Roman Empire. This is mentioned in prophecy, Daniel the 2nd chapter, Daniel the 7th chapter. Man. So the Grecian Empire, the Roman Empire, and they also called the rebirth around the 1400s, right? Mid 1300s, 1400s. That was the rebirth of the Roman Empire. You have the little, where the little horn spawned America. But you have the three horns. I know you just a different event we talking about. But yeah, you can get it. All right. Now, when it came to America, you had the three horns, the French, the Spaniards, and the British. But out of those three horns came the little horn. Yeah.
The word Renaissance means rebirth. There was Esau being rebirthed. But when the revelation going into Yahushua came down, and the angel came down, who's Yahushua, because he had the power to put nations in and out of captivity. He laid the chain on the dragon. The dragon going to Esau Edom, they had to be 1,000 years going into the time when he was down, but it says he will be released for a little time. And we in there with a little time right now.
Resurgence of the Roman
Luke
Empire.
chapter 21, verse 26.
Daniel 7 and 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
America, man. Because you create legislation, all right, for sodomy, all right. You extol your technology. Your technology is an idol. Your AI is an idol. You know. But this is a little horn that came forth of the three little. This is a little horn that came forth of the three horns. All right, which the three horns are byproducts of the Renaissance period, man. All right, the Spanish, the French, and the British. All right, that's why. Oh shit, you're there. Jeremiah 50. You're the degenerate version of the English, man. That's why your English, American English sucks. And Webster was petty as hell. He created the Webster's Dictionary just to distinguish himself from the British, man. Alright? But America's the degenerate version of Britain, man. But you're all Edomites. And that's the point.
Jeremiah 50 and 12. Your mother should be sore confounded. She that bare you should be ashamed. Behold, the hithermost of the nation should be a wilderness and dry land in the desert.
They hinder most of the nations. The nation is on the farthest to the west. That should be a dry land in the desert. That's called it's called America, all right. But that's a result of the thermonuclear missiles. That's what it is.
About their mother going to Great Britain.
Yep.
That's it. You got this. Hey, just back of brother Chris Isaiah brought out earlier. This First Maccabees 3:48, and lay open the book of the law, going to the Holy Bible, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
That's what happened. You know, Esau painted. Esau used to be the Most High. He made everybody in the scripture all noble women. Even the honorable, because there are honorable women in the scripture who fulfill their role as a woman. You know, even those women, he made them look like him too. He made everybody else look like him. You know, to what?
No, I'm saying, like, you know, this is his world, so therefore he used to start within this movie, man. You know, so you know, you paint yourself as, you know, the Israelites, the Egyptians. You know, you want to be the Persians, things of that sort. You know, everybody else you want to be besides yourself being Esau, Edom.
And if you're everybody, where did the dark nations come from? You're the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Persians, the Egyptians. Where the fuck did they come from? But even the so-called Africans, the Hamites. They was cursed, man. Right.
According to the Mormons.
That goes into like
the judgment or something. He's gonna drop it on those who hate him. They're gonna receive a death judgment. Whether it's about famine, you know, about being scared,
that's what happened. I got the precept to bring it out. This is Revelation 20, verse 1 through 3. It says, and I saw an angel come down from the heaven, being without a shout, having the key to the bottom of the pit, and a great chain in his hand. Verse 2, and he laid hold of his leg.
this is the safe haven in Europe.
This is ain't no resources over there. You go into it, in Europe, they gotta have everything brought in to make what they need, they keep what they need, and they sell everything else. So they don't have those natural resources over there. You know? And then verse 2 it says, and they laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan was going to Satan, the adversary, and bound him for 1,000 years.
Back to that pagan Roman Empire. And that show Spartacus, man, very good show. Of course, it got like a lot of lewdness and debauchery in it. It really shows you how them ancient Romans really got down. You know, but I think that first season, they had an episode called The Red Serpent. Who was Spartacus going against at that time frame? This was a Jake, by the way. The ancient Roman Empire. That clues right there, that red dragon, the serpent, it's called the devil. It's references to Esau.
That transferred all the way back to the garden. This is the devil's concern. You know, Esau have all, we were just talking about, the point you brought out, Alexander the Fake, that's what I call it. You know, going all the way back to that time. We know who Esau Edom is. All the way.
It says the old serpent who manifested into a great nation.
Point number 3. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000-year period, so like until the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he shall loose him from the sea.
Yeah, because that was from like 325 AD when the Septimius Severian war until around the mid-1300s. So that was a 1,000-year period. He came back out, basically during the Renaissance. Think of the different particular forts, different places. Like I want to say Granada, the brother I was mentioning Granada.
It's like a last stronghold of the Moors.
Yeah, because the Ottoman Turks started to come back and come into power. All right.
It said that the Renaissance period started in it started in the 14th century and ended in the 17th century. We go into the 14th century. What is it?
1300s. And that's when you read about families like the Borgias, which was the degenerate family.
First Crown family. Yeah, they got a movie going into it, and it shows you just how it's called the Borgias or the Borgias. It shows you how wicked they got down. How you who y'all so Lord so wicked. How he got down. Just every year, having sex with his sister, killing his brother. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga, like the people you follow, this nigga, these are some vain, disgusting, like wild people. It only shows why this nigga he got to serve out his captivity and he got to go. Like you can't deal with this nigga no more. Like if you just look at it, anytime Esau is in the play, there's always some shit. Like it's always something. If you just took Esau out the picture forever and just let the earth and naturally go in there steamroll, like righteousness with you, how was y'all gonna do it? If Esau and his wickedness went away, the earth would be in so much of a better place.
We saw a little glimpse of that with C-19, the so-called lockdowns. You know, the animals started coming out to the cities and things of that sort. Because, they saw like, things were shut down, so they wanted, just venture out, man.
Earth started to take back over. Like, you can tell the earth was fighting. Like, look at, this is a perfect example. You can tell the earth is fighting, like, this shit ain't supposed to be here.
You be saying grass coming out of the concrete.
Look, that's the earth, like, nigga, I gotta breathe. Like, the brother was talking to Crumbs and going into how Esau do deforestation. You'll get the earth a whole receiving her and then wonder why things that are coming from the earth are as pure as they were.
Yeah, and then the forest is the laws of the earth. Because the trees is not there, just the Most High don't do anything in vain. The trees are there to absorb the carbon dioxide and push out oxygen. So, but it pushes out oxygen to the life around it.
This is Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon smile, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us.
Esau was gone for a murder. You murdered everything. This is a biosphere, right? Biosphere, but you interrupted, you destroyed the biosphere, man. Bio means life, and sphere is the earth.
This nigga, he hunting for people. He killed people.
Yeah, right.
It's natural. Everything, and the Lord is so cold with it. Everything that's natural, nothing goes to waste. We'll eat a banana, and you throw the peel on the ground, come back in a week, it's going to be gone. The worms, and everything that ate that peel, and they don't poop, fertilize the soil.
Makes good compost. And even the animal, because it's the ecosystem, the animal dies, that's food for the decomposition. Maggots, the worms, birds, like the buzzards. They have a field day when you see a carcass on the ground.
Esau come in with these chemicals that don't break down. You can't use it.
And the same thing for your body. Your body is the extension of the planet Earth. So if you eat a pork tart, a toasted strudel, it doesn't decompose in your body. Because you got something called it's good bacteria, bad bacteria. You got a microbiome that assists with the digestive process. But how can you digest food if your body doesn't recognize it as food? So the same thing with the big armor.
McDonald's and shit.
Yeah.
They're going to show you how that shit don't be really broken down. Even your ice cream and shit.
Yeah.
That shit don't melt.
So what happens is your body stores it. In the external fat area. That's why the body all good, bad. Yeah.
You become acidic.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to be more susceptible to other diseases.
Because what happens is, like you was going into the banana, right? The banana becomes the earth again. The orange becomes the earth again. Or an animal, it dies and becomes the earth again. But something that comes out of a factory or a facility, a laboratory, it chokes the earth, right? And it also hurts your body if you consume it.
Video where a dude, he poured liquid, some sort of liquid milk on a McDonald's burger. It didn't even break down, it didn't burn up. Like, it just turned black on the outside. And then when he told the shit underneath, the shit got the peel, like, it got the bouncing off of it, like, literally, like you pour water on a wax. Like, this is liquid milk, like, this shit's hot. And the king said it to burger. And this shit's just, you can see it just falling off of it. But that goes into, like you're saying, like, the body, it stores it on the external area.
He can take the organs.
That's why
And
we
we
look at
will
some
eat
people
my
who are
son
like really
tomorrow.
huge
She
and
got
like
finesse.
their gut is like hard. It's harder than rock. Like they don't have like soft guts and it's like them two like big, huge people. Like their guts are hard, and that's what all this shit goes.
Full of waste.
It's like it's a landfill. Like the brothers bring it out of the spirit. All this information, because what we're in right now, this is the information age. You American dummies still going to these, Mickey D's lines, Burger King, things of that sort, and still consuming this poisonous toxic food.
But we lab. We're all really lab rats, but we're to the best of our ability, we're kind of escaping that lab shit, man. But if it doesn't come from the earth, just leave that bullshit alone. The snack shit at work, right? They just recently put zebra cakes in that motherfucker.
That's just all new one. A couple days ago, went to a soda machine and bought a Fanta. I ain't seen that so long.
Oh, yeah?
People like actually using a soda machine.
Oh, right, yeah, that's a 90s type vibe.
She had the bunny on. This is the bunny. Yeah. This
You should have tune with the earth too.
It's the book of Psalm 82 and 2. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked, defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked, which is referring to Esau, Edom. And the poor represents the Israelites, people that are not desirable within this setup. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course. And most of us go to work and go home, right? So we don't even know in full how this man has thrown the earth out of balance, man. You watch documentaries of endangered whales, where like even animals that was conducive to the cleansing of the seas and oceans, they're in danger. Like oysters used to be in abundance in certain areas, now it's a scarce population, all right? Because you would find something valuable in the animal, you would just hunt them in mass, man. Because the hunt to kill the eat, man. You hunt for sport, man. You hunt for sport, man. Hey, your time is almost up, boy. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of a thing, man.
What animal that was back in Native Americans were the buffalo.
The buffalo.
Yeah, that picture was stacked up.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. It says, "For they shall be
stacked up like that.
such as not
Be stacked up like
We
that.
got that precept.
to this time."
You got it?
It's Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the place of the world with cities.
Yep, so that's ancient world style. Cut off his whole genealogy, man. So you're gonna have to pay for what your forefathers did. So don't charge it to the tab of a dead person. You're gonna have to pick up that tab, man. We had to. That's right.
So how much he's going to do to the curse of this judgment? He's representing so-called white people, man.
You're nothing but a throwaway race. You're an example race. You're a throwaway. You're just used for a particular event in this theater called the Planet Earth. Yeah, you're a throwaway race. All right, bro. Hey, with that, we were edified. It's give want to give our own glory to. We also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops. Great millstone rule well, peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of the elect, a Bible bomb, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.